Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about money as water, as currency, and I just kind of want to, I don't know, discuss some of the thoughts that I've been having about it lately. I've watched a few videos on it. I've studied consumer law for a few years now, and I'm starting just to understand like straw man and finances and how money really works in our society and what's actually going on outside of, you just work to make money. And if you notice, a lot of our phrases and a lot of our things that we say about money have to do with water. Like, you're trying to stay afloat, you're drowning in debt, you're trying to keep your head above water, you make it rain in the club, and I never really connected the dots until up until like recently. And it's just really interesting because you hear people who are successful say all the time, like, you need to let abundance flow, you need to let money flow, money is like water. But it's really starting to click lately. And you can see in the news, there's a lot of stuff going on about water. Water stocks are really profitable right now. They're going up, they're high. Everybody's talking about how much water AI uses and how much these data centers are using water. And it's becoming an issue more and more every single day. People are starting to become more cognizant about the types of water that they're drinking, the types of things that they're doing with the water and where they get it from, where they buy it. And it's definitely not an accident. It's not a coincidence. And I just want to talk about like my perspective and my experience a little bit. So there was a point in time, negative bank account. I was working as a flight attendant, making like $800 every 2 weeks. I was living with a friend. I was always just kind of stressed about money and just worried about where my next dollar was going to come from, literally super aware of all the money that I would spend. And it honestly wasn't a good feeling. And I, was doing my personal development journey. I was reading different things. I was following different things. And I just decided one day that I was not going to, I guess, start fretting about money anymore. Like, I wasn't going to fret or worry about it. I wasn't going to consume my thoughts with always needing to have more, not having enough, never having, what I need. And I just released that and let it go. And I was able to really let abundance flow. And the beautiful thing that happened is that once I started to do that, it really just opened up more opportunities for me to make money. When I stopped being scared to spend money, especially when it came to like my own personal development or investing in myself, investing in my looks, investing in, my knowledge and things like that, my life just completely changed. And now, since I've been doing that a few years later, I still sometimes do get caught up on money and spending, and I do get a little bit worried just because that conditioning was so heavy. But I've really come really far, and every new opportunity that I get, everything that I get into, I really force myself to relax. That sounds crazy, force yourself to relax, but I force myself to really just understand the perspective of money being water and currency and abundance and letting things flow and not being worried about spending $500 on books or spending $1,000 on something that is going to help me in my future or help me in my life, And there are so many different resources that I could point to. I'm going to leave some in the comments, but just understanding this and understanding that it has to flow and not being so tight gripped about like the money that I have, the money that I get, and understanding that it all flows back is, again, something that's really changed my life, and it's really helped me. And, I'm definitely a millionaire in my mind, and I'm saying that to myself all the time, and I'm starting to say it out loud now because I know that it's going to become true, but I'm a multimillionaire in my mind. And you really have to rewire yourself and rewire your brain to think differently, especially if you weren't taught about these things when you were younger. Everybody has a different upbringing, but the way that some people think about money from a young age is completely different from other people. And it's apparent in their lifestyle. It's apparent in how they talk about money, how they think about money, how they spend their money. And, some people have head starts. Some people have, generations of family who have trust funds and they have things set up for them already. And I'm not really talking about that. I get it that some people are at perceived disadvantages, but at the end of the day, once you know this knowledge and once you understand what's really happening and what's really going on, you can't really deny the fact that it's up to you to create your own flow of abundance and your own currency, and either set yourself up and your children up for the future, or just have generations start over and over and over and over and over again each time. So that's just really where I'm at with money right now. Even if my bank account is at zero, even if I have negative dollars in my bank account, I still think that I'm wealthy. I still walk and talk as though I have more than enough. And, it's really helped me. It's really worked out for me. And again, it's a learning curve. Like, it's not easy, and you're going to have moments come up where, you're at the grocery store and you're deciding between a can of soup that's $1 cheaper versus the other. And you're going to have to remind yourself, like, it's okay. Like, you are abundant, you are wealthy, and a lot of this stuff, I feel like it just sounds like crazy and like woo woo, you know, but it really does work. And I really do say give it a try. And I said this in my last video, it's like you can always go back to how you were before. Like if you try a new technique or a new way to develop wealth and abundance in your life, like just try it out for a couple of weeks, because you can always go back to what you were doing before. You know what's going to happen if you keep going in the direction that you're going right now. So you literally lose nothing by trying, right? And yeah, that's just my thoughts on that today. I'm going to leave some of the resources below in the comments for sure, but let me know what you guys think. If you resonated with this video, if you're trying to change your perspective and your perception about money in 2026, I would really love to hear. And oops, my alarm is going off. I would really love to hear it. And yeah, make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next video. Bye.